Good morning, good people. Here's my technical skill. Now, the future business application, it's not 100 developers and 5 managers and so many team leads all working together on one application. It's not that anymore. It's things have got to change. The aviation industry learned that a long time ago. Take, for example, the Boeing 747. It used to be 3 pilots, and I think it used to be 3 pilots. They may still have 3 pilots. I think it's now 2. But it used to be 3 pilots with a gazillion individual switches, all trying to manage each input that those switches were able to control. They needed needed the knowledge to know how to control, and some were tied together, so you just couldn't control one without controlling the other, right? Aviation industry figured out that now we have computers that can process a whole lot more information, that can display a whole lot more information, and all that can be condensed down to 2 pilots. Not because they wanted to cut jobs, it's because where technology was taking us. And now we have these business applications that are maintained and developed by a whole array of developers, and that's no more, because with AI excels at managing and organizing information. That's what AI excels for, and because it excels at that, it takes the place of a team of developers. You no longer need 100 developers. You only need a small subset of those developers, and the other developers, they have to do other things. Maybe work on other applications. Maybe new applications can spawn up, but that's not going to happen anymore. So if you're a developer and you're typing code, you gotta stop. You have got to stop. Don't try to compete with AI. AI will always beat you with typing code. You're not going to out-type AI. So stop. Just stop. Your new priority as a new developer, one, is to still understand the code. It's still good to the time you spend, get the certificate. It tells you that you understand the code. Learn the new technology. Learn how it's implemented. But AI is going to be doing that implementation. It's your job to direct AI, to create the blueprint for AI, and ensure that when AI is trying to get to a specific outcome, that your map is like a quick map of the day. You may not know about it, but before we went on the long trip, we had to go, many of us went to AAA, and we sat down and we sat with the lady, and they brought a map out and they mapped it out. They had like these flip maps, and you said you start from Rochester, and they flipped it, and they had this highlighter, and they drew a freaking line over every highway and every street that we had to go through, every bypass over a city. They drew it out, and they flipped and they flipped and they flipped and they flipped until we finally got to our destination. And then on the ride, it was always the cool part, if you were a kid, to have the map so that you could flip the map as you and your parents were going on this epic journey, or you were traveling, and as you got to the end, you were the kid that was able to flip the map and say, yeah, mom or dad, take this exit because the map said that. It is strange. That's a merge of technologies, because now AI needs that quick trip map. AI needs to be able to start at its destination and be able to follow the quick trip map. And as it's following the map, it's just flipping the pages, and it's going down the exact route that you want it to go down. And then when it gets to its destination, you'll look at the pull request and be like, that is a beautiful piece of code. it did exactly what I asked it to do. So, just a little heads up for the developers who may think that AI is going to take your job. AI is not trying to take your job. AI is not trying to take your job. AI is trying to make your job a whole lot easier. AI is trying to make it so that you don't have to work late at night because some requirements are just too much and you put in those extra hours. AI, you don't have to put in extra hours anymore. Okay? Sometimes developers have to work weekends just because, you want to get your work done, or, you're working on something. AI, you don't have to work weekends anymore. So don't think that AI is trying to take your job. Don't think that AI is bad. At the end of the day, AI is just organizing and managing information to help developers have a happy life, unstressed. AI takes the stress away from developers. How cool is that? Anyways, balance on hand. Yo, student loans are starting up, and for those stressing out, balance on hand. You want to get balance on hand. Hand is going to help you out with those student loans. Balance on hand, get it today. Talk to you guys later. 6 minutes and 30 seconds.